In this introductory segment, I thought I'd just introduce you to the steps in bankruptcy so that you'll understand what's involved. First of all, of course, we're going to file a petition, and there's quite a bit of work, and I'll explain that in a few minutes. But after we file your petition, somewhere between 4 and 6 weeks later, you and I will attend a meeting. Now, that meeting is not in a courtroom, it's in just a meeting room, and we'll meet with a trustee, a bankruptcy trustee. Your meeting will probably take an hour or so in total, and then 60 days later you'll be granted an order of discharge where your debts are discharged. So that is essentially what bankruptcy involves on just an introductory level. The place of the meeting is important, and you need to understand that, so let me cover that with you. The state of Missouri, we've got meeting rooms and meeting locations for designated counties. So if you live in any one of these 16 counties, your meeting is going to be held in Springfield, Missouri. So if you're thinking of hiring an attorney because he lives in your local area, that would be a decided mistake. If you'll listen to the videos on choosing your attorney, you'll see that there are some economic constraints on the attorneys in your local area. They really can't afford to attend those meetings. Also, if you hire one of these TV advertising firms, I want you to watch the videos on hiring an attorney about them and the attendance in representing you at these 341 meetings. In like manner, we've got these 16 counties that the meetings will be held here in Springfield. Also, if you live in any one of these 8 counties, your meeting is going to be held in Carthage. Now, of course, I would like you to hire me as your attorney. So I regularly attend 341 meetings for clients in both Springfield and Carthage. Let's go to the next page, and I want you to understand how the system is set up for bankruptcy courts. Now, other than your 341 meeting, you're probably in a consumer bankruptcy. You're never going to be in a courtroom. The judges do not get involved in consumer bankruptcies unless and until there is a dispute of some type, and that's usually not the case. So you're probably never going to have to attend a court proceeding. You will attend that meeting with me, and that will be your involvement, other than all the work you and I do. But I want to explain to you the appeal system and how the judges hand down opinions. At the very top, of course, we've got the U.S. Supreme Court, and then below that, for our area, there are 12 Circuit Court of Appeals, federal appeal courts in the United States. We're under the jurisdiction of the 8th Circuit in St. Louis, which covers quite a geographic area. It's a large 8th area to service. Below that, we have judges that issue opinions called BAP, Bankruptcy Appellate Panel. Those are bankruptcy judges that sit together, and they act as a appellate panel. Now, the screen's a little jagged on the print, but we have in our area the Western District, and you and I, for all those counties that I just went through, you and I are within the Western District of Missouri. And then the people in St. Louis in that area, they're under the 8th or the Eastern District in St. Louis. Our federal courts, where do we have federal courts? Well, of course, we have the federal courthouse in Kansas City, and we also have a federal courthouse in Springfield. However, we do not have any federal judges, bankruptcy judges, that sit in Springfield. What happens is the judges from Kansas City come down and use the courtroom in Springfield. Also, they'll occasionally, and regularly I suppose, they will hold hearings in Carthage for the counties that service that area. So that's how it works. Now, none of these appellate judges actually hear cases. They don't have witnesses called or anything. They will only look at a transcript of what happened at the lower level. So don't be confused with that. You're not going to be going to any of those courts. Down below, I'm covering the Department of Justice. The meeting that you and I go to, the person we meet with is called the trustee, so I want you to understand who he is. In Washington, D.C., of course, you've got the Department of Justice, And within the Department of Justice, you have what's known as the U.S. Trustee's Office. For Chapter 13 cases, your trustee in our area is going to be a fellow named Richard Fink. Now, he has hundreds of employees, and you'll probably never see Richard Fink. You and I deal with the employees that come to the meetings and answer the phone in Kansas City and deal with you. They're extremely helpful. They want you to succeed in your Chapter 13 plan. So even though they can't give you legal advice, they do everything they can to be helpful to you. Now, Chapter 7s are different. What happens there is the U.S. trustee will hire contract employees to serve as a trustee in your case. So just generically, they're paid $60 per case out of your filing fee. And then, as I explain in competing interests in this section, be sure to watch that. I explain that they will earn additional attorney fees if they can grab property from you, or more likely, try to grab property from your secured creditors and others. So that's how that's set up. The last thing I'd like to share with you is just cover this very quickly. You and I will assemble all the information for your petition. We've got to do some planning. Bankruptcy requires planning. It isn't just filling out bankruptcy forms, and that's when you meet with me and we go through all of your assets and liabilities and what your goals are. That's an important part. You'll also take a pre-counsel course over the internet that takes you probably an hour and a half. It's simple, and I have worksheets that you and I will have completed before you take that course so that you'll be prepared for it. So then we file the petition. After the petition is filed, within minutes, I will send out notices and faxes, and I'll stop all foreclosures and garnishments and attachments to your bank accounts and repossessions on your car. That's immediate. I send that out within seconds after filing the petition. Your petition, by the way, is filed electronically, so I do that over the internet. You and I, again, in 4 to 6 weeks, will attend the 341 meeting. After the petition is filed, there are steps that you and I will take. You won't be going to court, but there are things that you and I need to do. And then about 60 days after that meeting is concluded, that 341 meeting, your case will be concluded. So that's the steps in bankruptcy. Now, if you are filing a Chapter 13 plan where you're going to make payments and catch up on your home mortgage payments or catch up on your late auto payments, then you and I will file what's called a plan and a summary. The trustee will look at that plan and summary, and he might want some changes, and we'll amend it, and then the court will approve that plan. So that's a real quick introduction to Chapters 7 and 13, and I hope you watch the next video that covers the Western District of Missouri and kind of orients you to that. The basic thing is that you need to hire an attorney that communicates with you as you go through these steps. You don't want to be wondering all the time what's going on. You want to truly understand it. That's you and your family interests that are at stake. So I hope you watch the entire series, and I hope also you give me a call. Thank you.